Okay guys, the weather's still ugly outside and expecting more ugliness, so I thought I'd get back here in my train room, first time I've been in it in a while, and make a video for my little buddy Adam down in Florida that I met. He's probably more crazy about trains than I am. He's just a lot younger, but someday he'll get my age and he'll have 100 times what I have. Okay Adam buddy, this video's gonna be for you. There's no possible way, I told you yesterday via email that I would get all my trains out and put them on the table. It's impossible, brother. It can't be done. The table's not big enough. Believe this or not, this right here is one drawer. All this is what you see on the table is one drawer of 8. That's one of 8 drawers, and each one of them are crammed slap full as it can be. My war bonnets I'm crazy about. I caught Santa Fe fever. Steve calls it Santa Fe fever. My buddy up in Pennsylvania, he's a generation older than me, and he's got trains that would make me look like a beginner. But that's another story. But he called it Santa Fe fever, and I guess I did get it because I bought all these war bonnets within about a 2-month period. Every one of these right here are powered. Every one of them. 2 of them I took dummies and converted into dual engines. They don't have the horns, but these two are full regular the way they come from the factory with the horns and everything. So, and here's a couple of dummies that I've got, just spare dummies I've got left over, and I've got my nicest 2343 war bonnet right there. That's the nicest one I have. It's pulling 3 dummies and a B unit. So I thought I'd let you see how easily it pulls them. But I'm telling you, just them 4 dummies right there are a load for any engine. They're heavy. We're talking heavy-duty trains here. We're not talking modern-day stuff that you can take your finger and thump it up in there and it float back down to you. We're talking about real trains. All right, big boy, get the pulling. Man, you can feel the table shaking when that thing comes around. That train's got some power. I don't have a battery in it to operate the horn. I'm afraid I'll leave the batteries in there, and I'm afraid I'll leave the batteries in it. They haven't been operating so long. The E unit stuck a little bit right there. Man, it's getting close right there. What is that? That's a 1666. Adam, here's 2 engines I forgot completely about having. I totally forgot about those. See, the way this is set up, you can't tell which one's a powered unit and which one isn't. But this one here to your far left is the powered unit. I tell you, I just fell in love with these Santa Fe's. I've never in my life, back when I can remember them, diesels came about in the late 50s or early 60s, and I was just a baby at that time, but I can still remember them. I really can. I can remember the diesels. The newest diesels. There is a 5900 Pennsylvania that I picked up for a song. It's just a dummy, but it was on eBay one day and nobody was bidding on it much, and I got that for just nearly nothing. A couple of little Marks diesel sets. I got 2 sets of them. Got one brand new in the box. Never been, well, it's been open, but I mean it's got everything the way it originally came. Track, transformer, cars, autoloader car. Love that. I wish I had about 6 or 7 of them. Those are expensive. When you try to buy those are high priced. There's a little Marks engines, one of the very first trains I ever had. Once I got re-interested in them back in the 80s. It was just in a box of stuff that I bought from a guy. I think what he done, he was getting rid of his junk, and that just happened to be in there. Well, no problem, get it running. These 1065 Union Pacifics, they are post-war and heavy, but they're only single motors. There's a Santa Fe switcher. Here's the Santa Fe switcher and the GE 44-ton switcher that I told you that the guy gave me for simply getting his running for him. Worked at a last truck a couple of about 10 years ago, I worked at a trucking company, and the guy there was a train fancier, and he had a pair of the silver Lionel diesels that are real expensive. I forget the numbers on them, but he told me if I'd get them running for him, he'd give me these two engines here. So, buddy, I couldn't turn that down. Here is the same engine of the first train set I ever owned, period. My dad bought me that from Western Auto. This ain't the engine, but I was able to find one on eBay. It's not real nice, but it runs good. Single motor, and that's the exact same one that I got in 1969 or 1970. The rest of these down through here are just, there's a 2036, 2037, 2026, 2026, 1666, 2035. Them are heavy duty engines. That's a very heavy engine. 1666. This is just what happened to be in this top drawer, Adam. I've got much fancier, much bigger, much nicer engines. Excuse me. Other than these war bonnets. Let's see here. Second shelf is crammed full of engines of all kinds, turbines, 736s. There's my big. There's my snake train. There's the snake train that I made. I put two 2026s together and made it a 4662. That thing's a mile long, man. I'm going to have to redo the wheels to where it will negotiate a curve. Right now it will not negotiate a curve of any kind. It's just so long. I've got to redo the wheels. But there's that drawer, and it's got 3 layers under there of engines, just like you see here. Next drawer down, same exact way, just crammed full of post-war engines, diesels. 3 layers there. Next drawer, 3 layers. This cabinet here, crammed smack full. Not bragging, little buddy, just showing you that someday, get a little bit more age on you. When you get your job, you good job, you'll have 10 times what I have, because I can tell you're a bigger train fan than I am. I buy them. I don't play with them much. Well, all right, there we go. We're getting kind of stretched into a long video here. Just wanted to show you why it would be hard for me to do what I said I'd do on the email last night. I told you, that I'd empty all of it out and fit it on the table, but it's not possible. Break the table down. If there were room for it, I could stack them, I guess, on top of one another, but you wouldn't be able to see them then. But this 44-ton switcher is not near as heavy as I remember it being. It's still a high quality. It's a post-war high-quality Lionel engine, and it is heavy. But buddy, when you pick up one of these 2343 war bonnets, that bad boy right there literally will weigh 3 times what that 44-ton switcher will weigh. I mean, right there is the finer train, in my opinion, Lionel ever built. Nothing any finer. I've only got one of the B units, believe this or not. Out of all these war bonnets, I've only got one B unit, and it's by no stretch of the imagination is it perfect, but it's a good one. You want some trains, you want to have a little bit of wear on them to give them a real look, a realistic look. Missing the coupler on that one. I've got it in the box over there. I've just never took time to put it on. But all the rest of my engines are missing nothing. And like I say, let's see if that's a real engine. That's a full factory motor. That's a factory. Now here we go. Alright, here's where I converted a dummy. See, it don't have the opening for the battery. It's got the opening, but you got to punch it out and add the battery and horn and all. But that's a dual motor. And I think I've got one more here that's a single motor. Yeah, you can tell picking that one up there, it's a single motor that I converted. No, it's a... Let's see what's going on. No, it's a full unit right there. Anyway, I've got another one in there somewhere that is a single motor, and it will amaze you how it pulls. One motor will almost pull as good as 2 motors. I don't know that. I've never put them under a strain as far as cars, but just going around the track, man, I tell you, one motor is fast. They're a lot faster than a 2 motor. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's because it's getting all the current to one motor. Well, there you go. That's one drawer out of 8. These trains that I've got up here, I've had to make me a light situation in here today. It's kind of dark back in here. These trains are just extras. All in the world this is here is just extra trains. They're not all post-war. Some marks and stuff mixed in. There's you know, they're not junk, but they're considered my back burner trains. I don't have anything up there that would be of high dollar value, except these tanker cars, the Sunoco tanker cars. But I don't have room for any more of them in my cabinets. I've got about 20 of those. About 20 Sunoco tankers. Well, buddy, I hope you've enjoyed this, and folks, I hope you've enjoyed it too. I am a beginner in trains compared to Mr. Steve up in Pennsylvania. We met, I bought a 2056 Lionel engine from him. I've explained this in one video, but he sent me that train before I ever paid him for it. I was running around trying to figure out a way to pay for it. It was some of the first ones I bought on eBay, and I was trying to come up with a money order, and next thing I know, the dang thing was in the mailbox. So if that's not trust, I'd like for somebody to tell me what is. When somebody trusts me, that goes forever. That goes a long way. There's that little Clementine train, Adam, I was telling you about that. You know, I told you the story on about having it 32 years. All right, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed seeing this. Maybe this will give you the fever to buy Lionel trains and toy trains, because they never lose value. When you buy post-war Lionel or pre-war, you're buying something that you can always get your money back on. No question about it. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day and a good afternoon. Bye-bye.